troopresource.org, trying to put 1,000 skills into every troop's backpack.
All the requirements have to be complete, and like Kevin was just saying, as far as the project is concerned, make sure, even though you've done your project, say 6 months before you turn 18, get the beneficiary to sign off on that. We've run into problems where the scout will come up and, he's finished his project, he said, I've done all the work, but they obviously didn't have the beneficiary sign it until after they turn 18. So that is an issue because, like Kevin said, project's really not finished until the beneficiary says it is. So make sure that date is before you turn 18. And even though it may take you longer to complete all the rest of the paperwork, that's something we really pay attention to. As far as the workbook with the signatures, the Eagle Scout application, there's a downloadable, fillable PDF from the council website, also from the scouting.org website. Get the latest version and fill it out completely. All the information in there has to be filled out. Don't leave any blanks except for where it says the council signature or obviously the Eagle board signature. When there are merit badges that have a couple of different alternatives, only give the date for the merit badge that you earn. For example, swimming, put the date, if you earn swimming merit badge, put the date down for that and cross out the other alternatives like hiking or cycling. The first thing I tell scouts when they are going to fill out an Eagle Scout application is get a advancement report that has the dates that you earned each rank and merit badge verified by what's in ScoutNet and by council. The application, besides these different sections, it requires a statement of life goals and awards. This is something that's kind of a forward-looking type statement where you may say that I'm going to go to this in college, or they major in a certain thing, or I want to be a businessman, or I want to be a lawyer, or something like that. We want that kind of statement, what the Eagle Scout is thinking about as far as the future. And the awards should be non-scouting type awards. So anything that you do through your schools or civic organizations that you may have had some recognition, put that down in that section. Obtain the unit leader and committee chair signatures. Those signatures can come after you turn 18, but we generally tell our scouts we want to get everything into the council office by the time they turn 18. That's why Kevin just gave me one of these books tonight, because we have a scout that turns 18 tomorrow. There are references. There's a section for references. We'd like to see 6 references, 5 if there's no employer involved. Parent can give a reference, but a scout leader like myself, I can't give a reference for somebody in my own unit. That's a conflict of interest. So you have to go outside the normal troop leadership. The references are checked. And this is something where in almost all situations, just like if you're writing a reference for a college application or something, people aren't going to say bad things about you, but we do read all these reference letters right before the Eagle boards of review. So make sure you ask somebody that's going to give you a good reference. And usually if somebody asks me for a reference and I don't think I can give a good reference, I'll say, well, maybe you should think of somebody else. That doesn't usually happen, but I think that just goes without saying. Just like if you were asking for a school reference, you go to the teacher where you got an A, or go to the coach where you did well in that team, or something like that. The districts may request 2 different things as far as the reference letters. Some districts want to have the reference letters held until the Eagle Board of Review, and they don't submit them to the council office with the application. My district happens to like all the documentation that's going to go to the Eagle Board Review all together at the same time. So we ask for the reference letters to go to whoever is going to deliver that application to the council office, and they supply all the references with the application that's checked by the council office, and that goes back to the Eagle Board. So I'm not sure what your district does, but most of the districts in our council don't require the reference letters to go in with the application to the council office, but ours does. So there's 2 different alternatives. The scout requests the references. So you send out a form letter. You can personalize it if you want. It says, I would like a reference. I'm applying for Eagle Scout rank. And, you know, there's actually a form letter that's on the council website that you can use. But that's where the scout's responsibility ends. The scout is not allowed to follow up and pester people just because they don't send their references in. Really, that's kind of above and beyond what we would expect. It's really the person in your troop that's the advancement chair or whoever's responsible for getting the scouts ready for their Eagle Scout Board review that has to follow up and get those references to come in. If a scout doesn't get all of their references returned, you can't hold that against the scout. Merit badge blue cards, save those in case there's any kind of discrepancy as far as what is in the national record as far as earning a merit badge. If you think that you earned citizenship in the community merit badge and it isn't in ScoutNet and you have a blue card for it, that's the best way to verify that you actually did have a completion. There are other situations where we've seen that, you know, sometimes the blue card wasn't really signed and the scout has a blue card but there was no counselor signature on it. That's a problem. So you want to make sure that if you feel like you earned a Eagle required especially merit badge and you have a blue card for it, get that counselor to sign it. If there's not a signature on that, you really haven't earned that merit badge. Check out that all the documentation agrees. Make copies of everything. Just because you turn in an application and have your workbook filled out, something can happen. I hate to say it, but we're not all perfect people, and there have been things that have gotten lost. So make sure you keep a copy of all your documentation. That includes the application, the workbook, all the things that you have that you need to be able to verify and resolve these discrepancies before submitting the application to the council office. Here's the application. Submit the application with the project workbook and statement of life goals to council. This can be done by the scout, can be done by the parent or the troop leader. Keep a copy of everything, as I said. Verify, verify, verify. Usually it's a day or two that the council recognizes and is able to check everything and give it back, and then it goes back to the district advancement committee. The Eagle board gets it, and then they set up the timing by having somebody on the Eagle board contact you as far as saying, is this date that we're going to meet acceptable?